What's good, leaders? Welcome to another episode of Newer Leaders Podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, a young entrepreneur from the city of Philadelphia, someone who's very, very close to me, family at that. Thank you for taking time to talk with me today, bro. Appreciate you for that. No problem. So, the last thing you posted on Instagram was some like a T-shirt for your summer collection. How that's going?
Right now it's going good. I ain't gonna lie, the numbers and everything. It's wishy-washy. I wish I'd have did more marketing with it, but I'm still understanding the game.
Yeah. So I don't want to sit here and introduce you. I'm gonna let you introduce yourself to the people. Let the people know your name and what you do.
All right, what's up, y'all? My name is Zymir Patterson. I go by Lilmirzy. I'm a young 19-year-old entrepreneur from West Philadelphia. I own a clothing brand company called Unseasoned Urban, also known as UNC brand. I'm a barber.
Barber. So you dipping and dabbing in two different lanes. How is that going for you?
Honestly, I feel like they tie in together. I feel as though like I can have I have the ability to make somebody look good, regardless of the fact of you getting a haircut or I'm just styling you in a sense.
Okay. Talk about a bit like the day in the life of being a clothing brand owner and a barber. Like when you wake up in the morning, what's like a bit of your schedule?
All right, so when I wake up in the morning, what I do is go in the bathroom. You know, you gotta take your little morning runs and all that. Everybody gotta get it up their system. Feel me? 9 times out of 10, hop in the tank. After I get out the tank, wash my face and all that. Look on my booking list. So we just gonna say this is a full booking day type job.
Okay.
So I head to the shop. I don't really eat like that until I get to the shop. After probably like my first 2 to 3 cuts, probably eat. When I'm in a chair, I just honestly I'm in the zone. So it's like I'm focused. I have certain conversations with certain people, like to question people to see where their head is at as a client, but that's pretty much it. Other than that,
okay. So far with your barbering experience, what's one of your most interesting interactions you've had with a client, or like a client that's maybe sat in your chair? You know, you had a conversation with them, and that conversation maybe shifted like your mindset or made you change your perspective on something.
I had a client that came in my chair. He's a marketer. He works for Rockefeller. So when he came in my chair, like usually I ask people like, what's your name, like what you do, X, Y, and Z. I like to introduce myself and kind of give off icebreaker conversations. Give them a little bit of like what I got going on in life, just a little bit, not too much. Right now I'm a student at Temple and X, Y, and Z. So he was a Temple alumni. Then from there we just was having conversations about like marketing things, different skill sets that I can work on, abilities that I can in the future have. It was a lot of things. So he definitely changed my mindset with like just the whole business aspect.
Okay, now
came down to organizing it.
With that, how big of a role does marketing play in everything that you do when it comes down to barbering or like the clothing brand? How
Marketing
big of a role does
everything.
marketing play?
100%. Marketing is everything. I feel like you can sell a T-shirt with anything. I could sell this T-shirt right here. It's blank. If I market right, it's gonna sell out. Same thing with barbering. Barbering is more so you have to keep the people engaged for a long period of time for them to understand or want to be in your chair. It's like you got to give your personal, you got to show your what's it called? Damn.
What word are you trying to go after?
You got to show I think.
Like reveal a bit of your hand, like give a bit of your personality.
You have to show your personality in your videos, just because of the simple fact that a lot of people don't want to just sit in a random barber chair and be dead quiet.
Okay.
Like a lot is put into the service now more than just like, oh yeah, you can have a sharp haircut, but a lot of people want to feel comfortable in the shop. For one, you got to be open to everybody. So it's more so not necessarily I can't look at this person and be like, oh, since he's this color or he's this, you know, if he like girls, boys, etc. I can't discriminate off of that. It's based off comfortability. They see a sense of personality.
Okay.
And they just kind of adapt to being in that barber chair.
So not really mixing, you know, a person's or, you know, you or your client's personal with the business side of things.
Yeah.
Okay, understandable. Now, for, you know, someone who's maybe watching that's an aspiring clothing brand owner or, you know, a barber, what's some tips that you can give to them to, you know, help them take the right steps when it comes to like marketing? Like talk about some marketing strategies or maybe, you know, some things they could do to maybe push themselves out more to, you know, the world.
Okay. First things first, I want to really say that follow the trends. Follow the trends is definitely one of the major things that you can do. But create your own twist to it. Don't necessarily copy the whole script, like just step by step. You gotta
Mm-hmm.
add your own little twist to it. Number two is find cultural relevance. Once you find cultural relevance, it's more so like you're grasping the audience that you need in a certain sense. Like for instance, when egg inflations went up, it was certain brands that were vegan that made eggs for a cheaper price.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, it's backlash on the brand, but for that successful drop, they made a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Thirdly, um, thirdly, I really want to say add influencers. Influencers is probably the, I ain't gonna say probably, influencers is the way to life right now. When it comes
Mm-hmm.
down to different social media platforms, you got big people like Quan, you got all these different style, fashion type of people now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more, everybody's becoming more comfortable in their skin when it comes down to dressing themselves now. Because back then, even when we was young boys, we not old, but when we was elementary school and all that, you see somebody wearing Vans or X, Y, and Z, you used to get bitted
Yeah,
on and
they
all that,
bid
like
on you.
got
What?
sketches and all
They
that.
grind you up for
Now
wearing
you can
certain
have
stuff.
Vans and somebody, yo, that's
It's
hard. You
fire.
got Doc Martens on it, that's hard.
It's
You
all
know what I'm
about how
saying?
you
So
putting it
yeah.
together. Yeah.
And then lastly is always be a student. Don't think you know everything. That's
Mm.
for that's just for everything. You gotta be a student, you gotta study the game that you in.
Okay. So you mentioned the word sacrifice. When you were, you know, giving advice on, you know, the right steps to take, you know, as a clothing brand owner or, you know, a barber.
Mhm.
Now with sacrifice, right? As an entrepreneur, not just a clothing brand owner, but you know, or a barber, just as an entrepreneur in general, how big is sacrificing? Like, name some of the sacrifices that you had to make to, you know, get in a position that you are today, or even see growth with
Okay.
the things that you're doing.
I would say one of the main things is sacrificing time and money.
Okay.
You had to be able to understand that you're at a level of investing in yourself. So certain materialistic things that you see on an everyday, daily basis that you might be wanting to buy, even if it comes down to, oh, yo, McDonald's, you have to be comfortable with yourself and able to stay down. Like if you
Mm.
got to go to the store, use your food stamps, eat cold sandwiches, ramen noodles, all that, like the struggle meals, that's what you got to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes down to time, if you
Mm-hmm.
got a job, if you got X, Y, and Z, you have to be fully invested into your path because the time that you're missing could be the time that you make it. That's
Okay.
what I can understand with that.
All right. Now, I'm sure, you know, some of the people that's watching, they may be working jobs, and they may want to start like their own business,
Mm-hmm.
but they're a bit like hesitant. Or maybe they've already started a business and they don't know how to, you know, create a balance between the two. You work,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You have a job. So how are you able to create a balance between, you know, your 9 to 5
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, what they would say like your 5 to 9? So, you know, and which would be investing in yourself and your business. How do you create a balance between the two?
All right, so me personally, I'm a barber, then I'm a clothing brand owner. Honestly, right now, I don't have a shop, so the clothing brand side doesn't really take as much time as like off my hands physically,
Mm-hmm.
unless I'm doing like a pop up shop or something. But with the barbering, I open my availability during the daytime. I got shifts during the night. So right
Okay.
now I work at Key Bones Express. Shout out Key. I ain't gonna lie, that's my
Big shout
dog.
out to Chef
Shout
Key
out Key.
Boom. Hey,
Um,
Chef Key. My bad. Chef Key. We gotta get you on here. We
dude,
definitely
got
gotta
to.
get you on here. Good.
But I was able to set my availability for nighttime. So during the day, early in the morning, I might set my calendar on the thing. Certain days I do have morning shifts, and those certain days I take off of being in the shop, which will probably be like 1 or 2 days. But every other day is like 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm doing a 9 to 5 shift with my barbering thing,
Mm-hmm.
but on the side, like right after that, I'm going to my 9 to 5.
Okay. So
You just had to, you gotta find a space.
okay, create a space to balance out
Yeah, and
both of the two.
once you realize the space that you have availability for, you gotta take that like instantly. It's
Okay.
not even like a question. You have to take it.
All right. So you mentioned, you from we both from the city of Philadelphia, and I know that just like the viewers know, I know, um, it can be pretty hectic, especially like the things that go on, how social media or just every all of the like social media platforms
Mhm.
portray the city of Philadelphia. Talk about a bit of like your upbringing, being from Philly.
My upbringing was I ain't gonna lie, I love my upbringing. I
Hmm.
feel like every struggle that I face is pointed towards like how I act now.
Hmm.
Um, but gradually over time, social media developed, and we developed with social media, and a lot of things have grasped into different worlds. It's
Hmm.
not even the same world as when we was young boys because we used to go outside every day, manhunt, 1, 2, 3 hood, all like ding dong ditch,
Oh,
curveball,
that's
all
yeah,
like
definitely
we
curveball.
used to be
What?
outside a lot more than what we are now because of what the environment is like very exposed into. I feel
Hmm.
like social media plays a big part when it comes down to making somebody feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Embarrassment is one of the main things, and they carry equals with the embarrassment. So it's
Hmm.
like you embarrass me in front of all these people. Now I'm gonna go ahead and
All right.
feel
Yeah,
me.
I feel like that's a big thing. So with that, like, I'm sure we familiar with what people would call like a get back mentality or like get back
Mm-hmm.
culture, right? With that culture, like, what's your take on the get back culture? Do you feel like get back culture is like something that is, a not a good thing to do, but something that's like a mentality that would get you far,
Mm-hmm.
or somewhere, a mentality that would basically have you like a hamster in a wheel running in
It's
place. Like, what's your take on that?
get back is it's not gonna get you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a state of mind when I lost my fellow like family members in X, Y, and Z. I was in a state of mind that I wanted to do the same thing that everybody else is around me doing,
Mm-hmm.
which is like just being dumb, doing dumb decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You had to literally sit in a mirror and ask yourself, who are you? Like, what's your path? What's your takeaway? If you want to be a street guy, be in the streets. Go ahead. Like everybody of the city of everybody born in the city of Philadelphia is street essence. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like this is a
Street
corner
smart.
boy. This is a corner boy city.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. But like when we got the upbringing around us and the more opportunities, like the most opportunity, we really carry every social media platform that we get on.
Yeah, we got it's a
Like
lot of opportunity in the city of
you
Philadelphia,
see the
definitely.
dancing, you
Mm-hmm.
see Rod, shout out Rod, you
Shout out,
see
big
like
big shout out,
YouTubers,
Rod.
you get what I'm saying? You see
Yeah.
all these different opportunities, even the rappers, when it comes to rappers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many opportunities that we could take. It's just the city is full of hate and the get back mentality, and people really don't honestly have the people around them to be like, yo, like you gotta do this, you gotta do that. Like
Okay.
it's not more structure no more.
So what like some of the the notable names from the city of Philadelphia that have like a clothing brand or in the lane like the lane that you are in, names like Paradox,
Mm-hmm.
Deep, Stocked Up, Nah, Benny Peru, Will. What seeing them coming from sort of the same demographic that you came from and seeing like where they're at now, and what they're doing, do you look at that as like inspiration to you know
Mm-hmm.
what you
Always.
do? And definitely like, so another one would be like Humble Zay.
Yeah, I shout out
Yeah,
him.
yeah, shout
Yeah,
out him.
he's
Like,
there.
do you look at these individuals that like came from nothing? Like Zay came from like selling waters, selling clothes out his trunk, and now he has one of the biggest clothing brands in the city of Philadelphia, doing a bunch of different things. Vending machines, a whole bunch of stuff. Do you
Yeah,
look at the
waters and all
yeah
that. Like
like?
he crazy. He got his own tracking device.
Do you look at these individuals and say like, man, I could do this too? Like, when you see this, do you use them as motivation?
It's more so motivation, but it's something like I taking things like I can learn something from them.
Okay.
I feel like everybody is a jewel, and you have certain pieces of jewel that you don't have yourself. So you're a different type of diamond than I am. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Okay.
So if I want to shine differently, I might have to add a piece from you, might have
Mm-hmm.
to add a piece from Zay, might have to add a piece from you know what I'm saying, X,
Okay.
Y, and Z. But I feel like 9 times out of 10, like a lot of people would think like you got so many big clothes brands around you, you might look at them as competition.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough money for everybody. It
Mm.
ain't really no competition with anything. As far as like who I talk to with clothes brands in the city, I would definitely say Torture. Leslie.
Torture
Like
Leslie, yeah,
he's
definitely.
superhero. He's down to earth.
That's another big one in Philly.
And
It's
somebody.
crazy. Not to cut you off. The Roots picnic. He
Mm-hmm.
was actually, Meek gave him a major shout out in the video. I believe he streamed it. He
Mm-hmm.
posted on Instagram, and Meek was, just shouting out a bunch of different people from Philly, showing love to the city of Philadelphia, and he definitely gave him a big shout out. So big shout out to Leslie.
Big shout out to him.
Um,
Somebody else, I ain't gonna lie. Rico. That's Rico. Shout out
okay.
my dog. Like I ain't gonna lie, I can call this man any time of the day. Just all for foolishness. Like we be talking, like this is like a person that I honestly can say like he listened to everything I say.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't tell me like you really smart or you really you just don't. I don't know why you don't push your buttons to go ahead and press play. Like what you waiting for? Go ahead and do it. But shout out Rico. Go ahead shop Trap Star. That's definitely one of them heavy brands in the city. I do want to get the chance to talk to Deep and Zay. I talked to Zay I think one time, and it was more so like, yo, what's up, bro? How you doing? X, Y, Z. That was it.
So it seemed like partnering up is like is people mention is a power in numbers. And with the things that you're doing, especially a brand, with there being a power in numbers, you'll need a team to, build up these things. Talk about the importance of having a team, doing things or, playing certain roles on the team to help build up, your brand or just a business in general.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. Right now, I don't have a team, and that's probably like my weakest link out of everything. You can't be everywhere at one time. You can't do everything at one time, and especially for a person that's in school that has a 9 to 5 job and trying to maintain 2 different businesses, my time is very limited. So I don't really get no free time on my own. It's more so work, regardless of the fact. Having a team creates a balance on not only your schedule, but more so just like the weight on your shoulders. You're not lopsided with one side, or you gotta do all this stuff. It's more so like, yeah, you up street and you could walk into a business office and not worry about nothing. I feel as though as a team, people have to understand the rules. Your team is not going to be your closest friend. Your team is not going to be your brother. Your team is not going to be anybody that you know. Your team is going to be people that you meet across the way. I'm just now learning it. I do have a meeting with a marketer. So the guy that I was talking about in a barber chair, he's, inshallah, I'm going to say that he's going to be my marketer for my brand. But you got to pick people that have different rules. He understands his role coming in. A lot of people now, if you forcefully pick a team, they would be like, oh, yeah, I want to do this, this, and that. The whole time they want to be the brand owner. So they might market the product,
but they want to
they show their face with it.
They want to be in the limelight of everything.
Saying? Yeah, like,
okay.
That's the city that we're in is more so hatred. So you can't forcefully make anything at all. Like, you just gotta merge.
Okay. Now, for individuals out there, who may not have a team, you mentioned that your team are individuals that you meet along the journey. For individuals out there are watching who don't have a team yet. They're they're wearing all the hats. They're marketing the business. They're making a product, cutting hair, going out to meetings, networking, doing all of these things. What's some advice you can give to them to push through or persevere through like that season of doubt or they want to give up?
More so a dip and dab of everything. You want to focus more on marketing because marketing that gives you a broader audience to go ahead and discover your team. When it comes down to being in a drought or just feeling like you can't do it, it's always the next person that's doing worse. I ain't gonna lie to you. What I do is I really look at all my trauma as a motivation of what I don't want to be like. So if you got a bad experience with life or just like with your parents, X, Y, and Z, you know how they say if you have a kid, you learn off of your parents. Yeah. How you want to maneuver with your parents. The same thing with life. Life is what you make it. So grasp every opportunity that you can. I want to say that it comes down to your scheduling. You gotta really manage your time like perfectly when it comes down to everything. Because starting off, you're honestly not gonna have a team. So you're gonna have to, even if you're pressing shirts or doing X, Y, and Z, give it your all every last second of it. Like you gotta enjoy the moment and understand that. No, not just enjoy the moment. You have to enjoy the path.
Okay,
You gotta enjoy the
enjoy the
struggles, like
journey, and fall in love with
the
the
process.
journey and the process before falling in love with the results of it.
Yeah, you can't go in. Nothing you do as a passion should be about money.
Okay.
Like you don't go into any type of business office just thinking about money. It's more so like how you are in the future. So I can think about, I want my brand to get in 5 years. I want my brand to have 20 buildings or X, Y, and
Mm-hmm.
Z. But how am I going to get there? So I got to take those steps and fall in love with the process in order for me to get those 20 buildings.
Okay, understood. So we're gonna do a bit of something like a warm up or icebreaker or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so what's something about you that most people wouldn't know?
Mm.
Like maybe a hidden talent or
Oh, a
something like
hidden
that. Like
talent.
what's something about you that most people wouldn't know?
I want to say I'm a nature guy. Yeah, that's like one of my main things. I love peace. I don't like. I'm not like a mean person. Like like
So most people would think like you mean.
yeah.
What about that? Say that like how you come off maybe.
No, like a lot of people just walk past and say, "Yo, you look mean." Like your face, the way you feel me, the way you walk and all that. But it's like that's my face. I can't
I
change
ain't
it.
gonna
You
lie.
feel me?
I be hearing people on TikTok and say like, especially people that's not from Philly,
Mm-hmm.
they like say like Philly people like they like super aggressive. Especially when they talk about like the females from Philly, they be like, yo,
Yeah.
the girls from Philly is so aggressive. But just generally, the people say like Philly people is super aggressive, and people
Oh,
don't know why.
also, my social media presence,
Uh huh.
it might contain like you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
But boom, this what I'm going to say, because if y'all ever search me up on TikTok or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
you see videos. That's all a bit. That's marketing. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm being dead serious. It's all a bit. It's all marketing. You got to
Uh huh.
realize this time of day, a lot of people are in the drama. So when I'm
Mm-hmm.
making my videos, it's not more so just marketing my brand. It's more so marketing my face.
Mm-hmm.
So along the way, I want to be able to be a content creator X, Y, and Z. So right now, I'm preparing for that moment. So I might touch on a topic that's like a cultural relevance topic
Mm-hmm.
that's going on in the city. Like, yo, Baltimore talking about F us or da
Yeah.
da.
Uh huh.
You feel me? I'm gonna touch on that topic in the video and bid with it.
Yeah.
My job is to make you laugh. If I make you laugh, you engage.
Okay, so that's a way to keep people engaged as well as market your face and your brand.
Yeah, because I can show you my other talents in other videos. If I already got you engaged, you're like, damn, he funny. I'm gonna press his page,
Yeah, definitely.
and then
So
now you're gonna see every option that I got.
with TikTok and like other short form marketing, funny and like dramatic hooks keep people engaged, like especially like
100%.
the funny hooks, like funny videos just in general keep people engaged, especially like Instagram reels, TikTok, YouTube shorts, all of that funny stuff keep individuals engaged.
Yeah. Also, you gotta do a hook within like the first. I want to say really honestly 3 seconds of a video.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able, if you know how you are in the morning, like say you wake up, in the morning, you got to take your morning poop or whatever, and you on the toilet. You feel me? Everybody do it
Gotta
though.
drop your deuce in the
You gotta
morning.
drop your deuce. Everybody gotta drop that one deuce. So you feel me? You on your phone, you scrolling. You see exactly how you scroll. If you don't
Mm-hmm.
like a video or the video don't catch your attention, you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
keep scrolling. But if a video catch your attention, then it's like you gonna stop and watch it. So you gotta think as a viewer when you marketing your product or you doing X,
Okay.
Y, and Z. It's more so like you have to have something that grabs their attention in 3 seconds. Might be a car crash, it might be X, Y, and Z.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? A lot of people are in the drama, so you can literally make a whole, basically like a skit. I'm sorry, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
make a skit. You can have somebody arguing with a girl or X, Y, and Z. They're gonna be interested in that.
Mm-hmm. So like basically as a business owner, putting yourself in the shoes of a consumer and looking at things from like, a consumer viewpoint or paradigm to implement those features into, your business and marketing. Because at the end of
Exactly.
the day, even, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever, we're all consumers at some point.
For sure.
We all go out,
It's the way of
buy
life now, yeah.
clothes, buy phones. We all go out and spend money on what brand, so that makes us a consumer. Um, you spoke about, you taking some of, maybe the trauma or maybe negative energy or negative experiences that went on in, your life and your upbringing. Talk about maybe an event that that made you change your perspective and, turn that negative energy into something positive.
I want to say when I got put on probation and the day I stepped into court. I was a minor. I think I was about 15. 15, yeah, I was about 15. But for years, like in middle school, even elementary school, like I was known for fighting. Like that was my thing. Feel me? I'm fighting, I'm punching walls, I'm punching security guards and X, Y, and Z. I didn't have no chill, but I always had ease. Like I would be bad, but my grades would never be bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was one time me and this little young boy was rumbling. It was early in the morning. I hit him with a hook, and he fell into the brick wall and he slid straight down. After he slid straight down, there's something in my head. I'm like, damn, this crazy. I never did that before to somebody. Like, you feel me? So I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, damn, I'm strong as hell. But at the same time,
thought you was incredible up.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought I was Mike Tyson. I was in the job. Yeah, you feel me? Sure. But no, I took him to the nurse, and the next day after that, I realized like certain things was like it's gonna get a little bit more serious. His mom popped up at the schoolyard looking for me, asked me what's my name. You feel me? Furthermore, on to the story, I went to court after a couple of years. My mom was ducking the court. I didn't know I had court, so when I went in there, basically it looked to them like I was running for 3 years. So when I came there, boom, and he was like, the public defender came up, and he looked at me, asked me my name, and walked off. I looked at my dad. I said, "Yo, he not gonna ask me about my case." Like, you feel me? That was one of them Jones. And after that, I'm shaking in that jaw. I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Feel me?
Your heart dropped.
My head, like, I'm like, yo, they about to send me up.
You thought it was over.
Bro, I went in that courtroom. I tell you, you know how you put your real good act on?
You thought it was over.
You sir, ma'am, all that. I'm like, yeah, good morning, sir. How you doing today?
Chill. You started using words you ain't never seen before.
Then he was like, yeah, you know we can give you 5 years of probation and over like 300 hours of community service. I was like, damn. I'm like, in my head, I thought community service was when I was locked up. You only see that in the movies.
Nah,
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking he telling me I got 5 years of jail time. I'm like, yo, I'm looking at my
you got 300 hours of jail time.
Yeah, no. But yeah, one of them moments, it was like, that's not for me. I feel like everybody shouldn't even try to go that route. Being hard in the streets don't get you nowhere but in them type of systems, and they try to trap you for life. So don't do that. I mean, honestly, it's a wake-up call to everybody. You're not really going to like the court system.
So I'm sure you learned from that, which would tie back into you saying you always need to be a student. You have a mentor?
I want to say yeah.
Or like a mentor, or even if it's not somebody that you speak to directly, maybe somebody that is doing what you're doing that you study, you look up to. They may have a podcast, posting motivational videos or anything like that. Do you have like somebody that you look up to?
I ain't gonna lie, I got multiple, I got multiple. My cousin Bryce, this guy right here. I want to say Key, my aunt that I consider my mom. Like, yeah, she definitely my mom. But yeah, also my sister, my older sister Tracy.
Okay.
All of those, they really tap into different parts. I feel like the ones that really like, it's more so like I feel like that do what I do would be you and Bryce. Bryce does exactly what I do, so it's more so, it's a lot connection within there because he's a barber, clothes brand owner. You mean?
And he's been doing this for some time.
Yeah, he a veteran, y'all. He's sharp as in a bitty.
He's been doing this for some time, and I know, like, he's showing you the way and providing you, tools to be able to build yourself up.
Yeah, stop telling me I'm a take over everything, bro. You supposed to be with me.
That's what comes with it. As you know, like the channel, the podcast is all about inspiring other people, and just like the overall message of one individual won't have the torch forever.
Right.
they'll ultimately have to pass the torch down. Bryce is trying to pass the torch down to you, so
Yeah.
you can have the tools necessary and everything needed for when you hold the torch, and
I'm gonna do
you'll
the
get to a
same
space
thing.
where you'll eventually have to pass it down. You ain't gonna want bar. You gonna be like, all right, I got a young boy that want to cut hair. Come on, young, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you like the way, or give you the tools, the knowledge, and all of that necessary for you to take the right steps. With that being said, like, what's a piece of advice, words of encouragement, some motivation, um, wisdom, whatever, anything in that ballpark that you would give to the next generation of barbers or clothing brand owners?
I live by this quote, right? And the quote is see it, obtain it, and then just like basically enjoy it. Like after
Mm-hmm.
you obtain it, you enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can see your dreams. Nobody else gonna see your dreams. And you grab it. That's obtaining it. You know what I'm saying? You're obtaining your goals right here, your dreams, your goals, X, Y, and Z. I know y'all seen that almost fell. Almost fell, but then you enjoy it. You
Mm-hmm.
enjoy the process, you enjoy the moment, you enjoy the feeling of having that dream completed.
Mm-hmm.
So that whole enjoyment process has literally 3 steps to it. But honestly, I want to say personally, I was at a state as a kid where I ran from every last problem. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I was used to. I start problems, leave. Start problems there, leave. Or it might be a problem that happened. You might necessarily have a problem created from you, but just you feel me? Your environment, X, Y, and Z. Don't really necessarily run from your problems. Learn how to talk with your words. Your words can get you in places that you can't believe. That's one thing. But two, don't put any personal feeling towards business. Business is
Mm-hmm.
business at the end of the day. If I have a good and you want that good, don't come to me as a homie trying to get a discount. Don't come to me as a person that you might know me or see me somewhere trying to get a discount. Business is business at the end of the day. Treat business like it is. Don't have no
Mm-hmm.
personal feelings. Don't try to get no girls off your business. If you got a model, don't let that be your girlfriend. Don't try to have a sexual relationship with her. All of that got to get pushed to the side. Your
Mm-hmm.
personal feelings with business, push that to the side. That's
Mm-hmm.
You can't make it in the world of business acting like that. You gonna mess with a model, she might not like you no more after that because you ain't really feeding into her. It's a lot of stuff to get into that.
It'll trickle down and lead to a whole bunch of
Definitely
yeah.
don't stop. Keep everything going. I tell my little brother, and I tell myself this all the time: the day that you stop doing what you're doing is the day you literally could have made it. It take one video, it take one drop, take one little piece of hair, piece of clothing to blow up, and then you set for life.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you learn how to maintain your money, that's the
Money
main.
man, money
Money
management.
management is a crazy thing in this world.
As a clothing brand owner, like, we saw a phase of everybody decided to start a clothing brand after it looked like it was like some kind of get rich quick scheme, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, they may have started a brand and realized like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was. It's not like something I could just,
Yeah, a lot of
get
people
rich
really
quick off
think
of.
they
Talk
think
about
it's easy to make clothes.
Yeah, talk about the importance of reinvesting your money. Like, if you drop sweatsuits or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and you put in 2,500 to get the load, right?
Mm-hmm.
That includes your printing, the garment, all the labor and things like that, shipping and all of that. You put in 2,500, and you make back, we'll say, 20,000.
Right.
Talk about the importance of reinvesting that money to see more growth.
Okay. So as a clothing brand owner, you always want to live by the 3 statement rule. You times anything that's so if a manufacturer is telling you for this piece of clothing, I want to make it for $20. It's a manufacturer. You could probably try to alternate the price. You bargain with them, X, Y, and Z. If that price is firm, you got to pay the price regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm selling a product, I'm more so like, all right, it's $20. I got to times that by 3,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in order for you to make profit, you times any piece of clothing that you're getting made from your manufacturer by 3. So the first thing is the reinvestment cost, right? Second, saving. Third is more so your personal profit. So whatever you sometimes in this by 30, the first 20 I'm putting back into the brand automatically.
Mm-hmm.
Second 20 is safety. So if I need something for the brand only, that's right there for it. Thirdly, I got 20 hours to do what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm making 20 bands off of 2,500, 5,000 going back into the brand. Another 5, I might put 10 in the saving just because it's 20.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's 15 right there. No, you gotta change the price. So I might put 10 in there. 10 in there, 5 in the savings. 10 to reinvest, 5 in the savings, and then 5 to spend on myself.
Okay.
But 9 times out of 10, if you just starting your brand, there's no time really to have personal feel towards it. So you want to dump everything as much as you can into that pot of gold so you can get a mind out of it.
And had see maximum results.
Yeah. I would say go all in with it. Don't necessarily look for a profit for a couple drops. Like if you first starting your brand, it's not really necessarily about money. It's more so about achieving and making your stuff known.
Okay. Now, what's you read?
I do.
All right. So give the viewers or any listeners, give them like 3 things that they'll need in their toolkit to be successful or see results, whether it's, a book to read, a quote to live by, a mentor, maybe, someone that you've watched, listened to, anything like that. Give them 3 things that they'll need in their toolkit.
Patience. I want to always say read books. Anything that has a relevance towards what you're doing or like just in life right now, like what you're going through, that's what you can read because it's going to change your mentality of how you feel in that moment. Thirdly, I'm going to forever keep saying this, be a student. Like student is one of the main things that everybody needs to focus on. You can't go into a business office talking numbers and be like, yeah, I know this, and that, because they're going to just kick you out. There's no alternating. You can't know it all. And there's no such thing as you knowing it all. The more you listen, you got 2 ears, 1 mouth. The more you listen, the more you learn. The more you talk, the more you don't learn. Just always keep that in mind. And yeah, that's probably my 3 right there.
Okay. Now networking, I'm sure plays a huge part in everything you do. Talk about a time networking has opened a door for you, landed you a job, somebody you connected with somebody who's helped you, sell out a drop, or just talk about how networking, give an example of how networking has helped you out.
Networking goes a long way. I feel like your relationships in life is what makes you more successful. Not necessarily just your own like personal finance and stuff like that. I want to say, being at the job that I am, I see a lot of artists. I see a lot of just different type of people coming to even just the barbershop. I see we have a lot of people that comes in there, and like I said, you be yourself. You make the person feel comfortable. You have a conversation with them. If you want to make it intellectual, you make it intellectual. If you want to make it personal, you make it personal. However, like whatever your taste of the conversation is. More so, don't scare the person off, because that can be later on a person to be like, you see them on the street, you got a clothing store right here. They're like, yo, Yamo was cool. Like, when I was talking to him, even if it was 10 years, like Yamo was cool. Like, I'm going to go show him love. I'm going to go buy every piece of clothing in the store, X, Y, and Z. A time that I did have a big marketing upbringing would be when I worked at DTLR. Worked at DTLR on 52nd Street. That's one of the DTLRs where we have artists and everything coming there. I got close to the team, my coworkers. Got close to the coworkers in X, Y, and Z. They ended up living the nightlife. And they let me basically sell my clothes at the club and do whatever I wanted, like, at the club, basically.
Okay. So the nightlife is pretty big in the city of Philadelphia. Um, how did you selling your clothes in the club after getting close with the team? How did that help your brand? As far as like, did that was that your target? Was that your target audience?
Um, I feel like my target audience is a age range from 18 to about 38, and then young millennials. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
like girls and all that. If you know, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to say yes, but then at the same time, it's a couple people that come in there that's not really my target audience.
Okay.
Um, that did play a huge part in marketing because it's making my face known, and it's not only making my face known, it's making the brand known. So even if I post on social media, they don't see my face, they see the brand. They're like, "Yo, I just bought something from this. I'm gonna go buy something
Mm-hmm.
else." Or they see my face running on the street. "Yo, what's up, bro? X, Y, and Z. You got any more pizzas for me?" Or the whole 9 yards. So like connections, relationships, and networking get you a long way. They literally go like this.
Mm. They go together very well, like peanut butter and jelly. It
Yeah.
actually sounds good. I'll be honest. But so everything, with being an entrepreneur, everything has a slow season.
Mm-hmm.
When you reach a slow season, when it comes to cutting hair, selling clothes, how do you get through the slow season? What's a mindset that you keep? What's something you tell yourself? How do you get through these slow seasons?
Necessarily me, I go back to the drawing board. I feel like as though if I have a slow week with the barbering, I'm taking any clips that I had and I'm making
Mm,
videos. Same thing with clothing brand. Like I feel like if you don't got a drop that's sold out, do more marketing. That's all,
mm,
for real. And if it doesn't sell out in general, always keep those pieces because those pieces you can walk into different places and you might have to give a discounted T-shirt out, or you might give a T-shirt out for free. You never know, but you giving that shirt out can help you in the long run with connections, networking, and etc. You can run into an artist any time of the day. I can run into Meek Mill. I got an old piece. Even if he don't like it, he gonna respect the fact that you giving him a piece.
mm.
Everybody loves clues. Nobody's really gonna deny clues. That's the biggest thing about everything. Nobody's gonna deny clues. Nobody's gonna deny a haircut.
Mm.
Nobody's gonna do nothing unless your art isn't really up to par.
Isn't something that's like for them.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh,
Like you're not gonna go to Meek Mill with a skirt. Like you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure he would definitely, like, in the politest way possible, turn down the skirt. I'm sure he would do that. Speaking of
He
that,
said get up.
Meek was actually was at an event in Philly this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows Meek is he's from Philly, and when he comes to Philly and goes to these events, something goes viral. The most notable thing I could think about when it comes down to Meek viral videos, and this is like the funniest thing one of the funniest videos I ever saw of Meek. It was
What's it?
wintertime. It was snowing, a bunch of ice. He was at one of his family members' houses. And a video of him falling down the steps was
I'm
like
sorry, Meek.
recorded on a Ring camera and got it got posted, and everybody just went like everybody thought it was hilarious.
Right.
But this past weekend he was at I forget the name of the event, but it's an event. A bunch of vendors come out. He was there, and no, not Roots. What's the name of this event? I believe it's something like a sneaker con, but it's not sneaker con.
DreamCon.
Yeah, yeah. Um, and it was a bunch of people there. He going to tables, bargaining with people. And a clip of him went viral. Him bargaining with a few people about something. Now I'm good. I bought those snacks for you. I got my own snack over here. But
You got
that
MTV for that. You MTV. I ain't gonna lie. Hold on, y'all. You
yo,
MTV.
I
You
said
gotta tell the world that you bought my
no.
snacks, bro.
I bought. They listen. I had listen. That's my way of thinking.
Hospitality is
Yeah,
good.
that's what I'm saying. That's my way of thinking. You for take your
But
time
now
to
they
be on.
got they thinking like, damn, young boy, he buying you snacks and
No,
all.
no. Listen, it's cool. When you come, you listen. You take your time out to come on the pod. I feel like that's the least I can do. We're gonna sit down. We're gonna talk. God, make sure you're fresh. Water,
Mm-hmm.
gonna need it. Might want a little snack.
I might need a little sponsor by these people.
Little snack. Wyatt Kid definitely one of the best waters. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, that's what you said?
Wyatt Kid.
I thought
I
it was
learned how to say it.
Kia.
No, I
Wait,
learned how to
Kia.
say it through Google.
Yo, you
Like
know I
the
texted them
yeah.
and I asked them for a sponsorship. They said no.
Yeah, they listen. They turned you down. You get told no. I'm sure you get told no a lot in business. Like when it comes down to this everything, like you get told no a lot. And as you said, getting told no isn't like a
No, that's
bad
just
thing. Get you
that's a wake
one,
up call. Yeah, that's
it
when I
gets you
like.
one step
All right, you
closer to
want
a
to already
yes.
know? All right, watch this.
Yeah, it gets you one step closer to a yes. Like
That's where get back. That's where get back can be acceptable.
Wait, what you mean? Wait,
No.
what you mean? All right.
When somebody tell you no, you gotta prove them wrong. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like if I go into a business office right now, say you a bank, right? I'm asking you for a $10,000 loan. You deny me off rip. Don't even hear what I'm talking about. I'm going back to the drawing board and shitting on you. You get what I'm saying?
So
when I come back, when I got my backpack full, all the dogs, you mean? When I'm up, I'm going to swing right past that office and deposit.
Okay.
10 grand.
So then, what if you deposit that 10 grand? They know you actually got something, and they try to offer you 100,000. You gonna say no?
No, it depends on the interest and all that. You gotta look at the numbers.
But
if everything cool, I'm taking it. You hear me? I'm taking it.
You gonna take it, even after you just say
see what get back. I'm saying get back as in like you gotta prove people wrong.
Okay.
That's like a setback, John. I'm not talking about you gotta kill him or deny business, because at the end of the day, it's not it's not really his fault for saying no. You just didn't meet the requirement.
You just didn't meet the requirement.
So you gotta, you feel me? Just like recently, the streamer Tyler went to the BET Awards. I know everybody's seen it. It went viral. They denied him for walking on the red carpet.
Yeah.
He had to hit up his people, Castanet, you feel me, the bigger streamer or whatever. And basically he was able to walk after that. He didn't have no hard feelings. He said, there's nothing I could say. Honestly, they're doing their job. Like, yeah, they're saying harsh things. They're doing their job. And at the end of the day, I just gotta shut up and work harder. That's exactly what it is.
Speaking of that interaction, just earlier I saw a picture of him and Sage on the red carpet. After that, I saw saw a picture of him and Sage on the red carpet just after that interaction. And I felt like the way he handled it was he handled it in a professional way. Didn't lash out or anything like that after being told no. And then he ended up getting and experiencing everything. But how long have you been in business for, or just entrepreneur? How long have you been in the entrepreneur world for?
This will be my 3rd year of owning a clothing brand. July 19th. Barber, and I've been in the barber business for 5 months now.
Okay, so you experienced it. You still fresh to most. Some people, they've been doing it for 20, 30 years. So still fresh, but you've experienced enough in, not enough, but you've experienced some things in, your timeline.
Yeah, for sure.
What are some of goals or something that you have for yourself, or what are some goals that you have for your business in the next 5 to 10 years? Like, where do you see your business at?
Number one, my most important goal right now would be being consistent. I feel as though I'm not as consistent as I can be, so I'm working on that. Always want to have inventory. Like, never really go through a drought moment without having inventory. That's one of the main things. But next 5 to 10 years, definitely own a store in about want to say 4 cities.
Mm.
I'm looking towards Houston, Atlanta, honestly here, and probably like Chicago, one of those. No, like Chicago or LA, one of them two. Other than that, just I want to be able to live off my business, personal wealth. That's one of the main things that people don't tell you. Like living off your business is how these people got all these cars, money, and all that. You able to tax rate everything off
Mm.
so easy. So if you want me to tap into that, I really can. No, like honestly, I really can.
I think for that, I think we could say that for another time. I think that's like
That's
a,
for the future. I
I
gotta
think that's
show
a
it.
deeper, that's like a more in depth conversation that
Let
would
me give
take
him a
some
sample. Let
time.
me give him a
Go ahead,
sample.
you
I
can
can
give
give
a
him a
sample.
sample. All right. So what you want to do is you get your LLC, right? After you get your LLC, you get what's called an EIN. So that's your tax identification. Like basically, that's all it is.
Like a social security number for your business.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly. After you get the EIN, you're able to open a business account with any bank. 9 times out of 10, you want to pick a credit union. Like that's what you want to pick. That's where the money's at. Now, me personally, I have Navy Federal, but there's a bank called Fulton Bank. You can open a Fulton Bank account and get paid for literally having that account.
Mm.
You let the LLC and all that just basically over time. You want to basically let it age a little bit.
Okay.
So over time, after like a year or two, they see, boom, you got a couple kind of transactions going through, whatever. If you got a 9 to 5 and you got a business bank account, literally transfer any money that you have in your personal account daily throughout your business account. Because when
Mhm.
taxes come around, all they look at is the bank statements.
Mm.
So you can have a month that says you made 30,000. You can have a month that says 20,000. You can have a month that says anything. At the end of the year, they look at all that and be like, yo, you made 160,000 this year.
Mm.
So I'm giving you 50,000 off the tax write off or something like that. Boom. But deeper into that, the last step that I'm gonna give you deeper into it is get what's called a DUNS number. After you get a
Mm.
DUNS number, you're able to establish business credit.
Mm.
Business credit is something that you need throughout life. That's it. That's all I'm gonna give you.
That's all right.
That's all I'm gonna
I
give
feel
you.
like they gonna be real interested when,
That's all I'm gonna get you.
after that they probably be like, well, what's this and what's this? That's when they start doing, their digging.
Yeah, for sure.
If people have questions after hearing, like after hearing that, how could they reach you? Like, what's your social
So
media handles and
Instagram
things like that?
is Lilmirzy, Lilmirzz, and 3 Ys. Y.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok, it's gonna be They Love Mirzy, and my business page. I'm gonna say my bank account. Business page is UNC_US.
Okay. And before we end off, actually, we're not gonna end off. I got actually one more thing. You talked about, something that you're struggling with is consistency, right?
Mm-hmm.
For in order to be in a place of success or in a position of power, I know people hear the word consistency, or people say, you got to be consistent and show up and things like that. What does consistency look like?
For me,
What does consistency look like for you?
honestly, I want to say for me, since I have a clothing brand, always at least having a couple pieces with me. From either if it's one piece from a drop and another piece from another one, X, Y, and Z, being able to have inventory is being consistent. Want to be able to post. I want to have a schedule for posting. So when I post products, even if I still got inventory or if I don't, I always can have a backlash of orders. So it's more so like, yeah, I want to be consistent with posting so I can gradually just over time have a bigger audience, because there's some people that I might have dropped this one video one time and this certain person ain't see it. So the second time I drop it, he might see it. Being consistent with barbering is more so with just the quality work. Quality work, I want to keep it up with both, honestly. Quality work, I want to keep it up to a par. Timing, when it comes down to the time frame of the time duration that somebody's in my chair. Then posting that also.
Okay.
So I want to sum it all up, basically quality of work, time duration, posting videos and having inventory.
Okay, I think that's a good way to, you know, be consistent, or, you know, things to actions to take in order to stay consistent and, you know, your field of work. Um Before we end off, now I do want you to leave a quote, some sort of message to the New World leaders, our leaders here, our audience. Leave a message, a piece of advice, words of encouragement to those out there who may be able to connect with you and the things that you're doing.
So a quote would be, "It doesn't fail, you just get better." Practice does make perfect. If you practice your talent, your skill, study your pathway, you always, as a student, you're consistent, you can achieve anything in life. For anybody that's in my field, that does what I do, I want to say, honestly, just keep marketing, keep pushing. I feel like marketing is, like I say every single time, is the biggest thing that comes down to drawing your difference. You can have you can have a streetwear brand that's just marketing organic videos. You can have a streetwear fashion brand that's doing more so like short films, including influencers, incorporating different type of techniques and stuff like that. So I feel like your marketing is what kind of sets your difference, and also like your appeal. So if you want to be different from everybody else, look at everybody and see what they don't got and see what they have, and then create your type of path off of that. That's all I can say for real.
That's it for today's episode of New World Leaders Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you for coming out. Mirror, we'll check back in with y'all.
New World Leaders, you hear me? We on top, baby.